thinking about taking action or waiting until you have all the right information without taking action, even if you know how, is the number one reason why you will never transform. And so the reason why most people overthink is because... Hey guys, I'm Anthony, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to get out of your mind and into the best shape of your life, because chances are you already know how to transform. I'm going to be using the key lessons I learned from the book Stop Overthinking by Nick Trenton, as well as my experiences as a fitness coach to help you overcome any mental obstacles between you and those pregnant looking arms you've been dreaming of. So first, overthinking is simply thinking about something for too long or too much without taking action, to the point where it affects your mental and physical health, wasting away your precious time and energy. For example, you might be thinking about the best diet or the best bicep exercise, or perhaps you feel like you don't have all the information you need, so you tell yourself you'll start next week. And so overthinking can stop you from getting one step closer to your goals. And it's like finding a partner, but you worry about getting rejected. So you watch a handful of videos on how to be more confident, and then when you're ready, she's already 2 years into her next relationship. And so it's this idea that those who can't control their thoughts, whether it's thinking about what you've done or what you need to do or want to do or might do, can you see how being inside your brain can screw you over like that? And so knowledge without action is meaningless. Like knowing how to bicep curl without actually bicep curling. But then how do you get out of your own head? First, understand what actually causes us to overthink in the first place. Number one, ourselves. One major factor that brings about anxiety is genetics. In other words, people are simply more anxious or worried because they're born into it. And although this may be true, I don't think it's a good way of thinking. You don't want to say, I will never be shredded because of my ancestors. In my opinion, that's a poor man's thinking. You've stopped yourself before you've even started. The second cause of anxiety and overthinking is your environment. And this can be broken down into two parts. The first is immediate environment, like your home or office, where you spend the most time. And if it's cluttered, noisy, and dark, your brain will reflect that. The second part is the broader world, which refers to the experiences you have and the interactions you have with others. For example, bullying. Someone's putting you down about how you look or how you're insane wanting to achieve such goals, or the pressure to be a certain way. These things will mess with your mind, causing you to overthink simple decisions like what to eat, what to wear, what exercises to do, how often, and so forth. So how do you stop overthinking? By not thinking at all? The first step to overcoming overthinking is awareness. In other words, shifting your attention to your thoughts and feelings without resisting or judging yourself, as well as maintaining a lifestyle that supports your mental and physical health. And I believe this is super crucial because you must learn to understand what you're capable of and that you're not what the haters say you are. And so you may have noticed how you feel before and after your workout, perhaps more energetic, more positive, and clear-minded, and perhaps more sexually driven, as opposed to how you feel when skipping your workouts. But if stress is a big part of your life and you feel like you simply can't avoid it, here's 3 ways to de-stress and stop overthinking. Number 1, the 4 A's of stress management. The first is avoiding what you can't control and focusing on what you can, like walking away from a situation before it gets worse. But because we can't simply avoid every situation, we have to look for ways in which we can create the ideal environment. And you do this through altering your environment. But if you feel like you have absolutely zero control, then you must learn to accept it. But then if you can't avoid, alter, or accept your environment, then you must learn to adapt. As humans, we're great at this. For example, if we were thrown into freezing cold water, our bodies would simply adapt. And so if you're going through something right now, perhaps one of these A's can help you. For example, as a teen, I never thought I could accept my environment. And so I found myself avoiding it. Hiding behind a screen, leaving someone on scene, Yeah, I'm that guy. It's a great way to create your ideal environment and direct your energy and time to the things that matter the most. Another practical way to becoming more aware of your stress levels is to have a journal, noting down your daily experiences relating to stress. So you know exactly when and what triggers such a feeling. And in my experience, I can definitely see how this can help. But in terms of consistency, journaling is not for everyone, especially if you're like me and you can't sit still for more than 2 minutes at a time. And therefore it's okay to stop once you feel you're in a good place. But a much more practical way is to create boundaries around relationships, especially ones that tend to make you stressed and perhaps depressed. And so if you want to achieve big shit like transform and be able to keep it, you must learn to manage your time and energy. And you can do this through prioritizing certain things over others. This is how you make sure that things get done. And these are the things that will give you the most bang for your buck, like fighting a Pokemon trainer versus fighting a level 2 Magikarp. But with prioritization, not only will it make you happy, it's also crucial when it comes to managing anxiety and stress. For example, to-do lists. These are great for getting things done. But keep in mind, it's not about getting 100 things done. It's about choosing the top, 2 or 3 things that once you tick them off, it's going to give you a major sense of relief and overall happiness, while keeping your stress levels down. This includes things like meditating or working out, and a lot of it has to do with time management. So here are 2 effective techniques to get you started. The first, setting SMART goals. And this stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals. So in other words, you want to set your goal to be nothing crazy, like building 20 pounds of muscle in 24 hours. Impossible, right? Instead, just keep it outside of arm's reach, so it's a little more challenging than you're used to. And lastly, set a time limit so you can accomplish them within a reasonable time frame and without being a perfectionist. But if setting goals is not your thing, another extremely simple way is to time block. And this is where you say something like, I'm gonna work out for 30 minutes every morning. It will help you get that thing done, that thing that you know you need to do, but keep brushing aside. And this is a great way to guarantee results, especially if you get it done first thing in the morning. But as with anything like watching your diet or wishing every day was easy, stress will return like that ex-girlfriend who's super clingy.
I thought I could get away with whatever I wanted to.
So do expect to feel anxious every once in a while. And so a practical way to reduce anxiety is a method called autogenic training, a relaxation technique used to control your thoughts and emotions with your words, and it's basically a 15-minute session done 3 times a day, morning, lunch, and evening. And I won't go into too much detail, but first, find a place to sit, then repeat to yourself, I am alert, and continue to do so while you think about the sensations around your body, kind of like meditating. The next way to battle your anxiety is progressive muscle relaxation. This technique is similar to the ones used by soldiers to fall asleep fast, so they can wake up right before the baddies bust down on their ass.
Bust down on the gang.
And this relaxation technique is based on the belief that how you feel affects how you think. So start by sitting or lying in a comfortable position, and the idea is to tense each body part and then relax, going from head to toe or vice versa. And with practice, this should help with managing your anxiety as well as sleep. But hang on, a lot of people don't realize this, but constant negative talk, whether saying or hearing it, affects your day-to-day life. Especially with achieving big shit like achieving a great physique or building $1 million business. Negative talk can really throw you off, and that might mean gaining a bunch of weight and or losing muscle in just a matter of days or weeks. And so one thing you can do to rewire your brain and make it work for you instead of against you is to first identify any negative thought distortions you might be guilty of. One type of distortion is black and white thinking, which means having extremely negative or extremely positive thoughts, where sometimes we tend to completely ignore the positive and then focus on the negative. Like the thought about how life is always against you. But really, if you look from a different angle, you'll see that life is actually giving you opportunities to grow. And so once you've identified the thought distortions, next identify the different environments, people, or situations that trigger negative thoughts. And this is where it may be useful to keep a thought diary. For example, whenever you experience a negative emotion, write down how you feel and include that thing that happened right before the emotion. Like, what were you doing? Who were you talking to? And so forth, making it easier to avoid or fix repeating situations. One powerful quote in this book is that thoughts create emotions, and from this, we can say that positive thoughts create positive emotions. And this is extremely powerful. If you can learn to create positive emotions, you'll feel more motivated and be in the best mindset to take action, and over time, achieve a killer transformation. So the goal of this video is more than just learning different strategies to stay motivated with getting sexy AF. Instead, with just a 1% mindset shift, you'll start to see that you already know how to transform, and chances are you're overthinking. And because we've all been there, I want to leave you with 3 mindset shifts that help me, and I believe will help you hit the ground running towards achieving your dream physique. First, focus on what you can control as opposed to what you can't. Next, focus on your needs and not your wants, like the need to continuously grow and evolve. Otherwise, you risk living your life in regret. Last is to live in the present and not in the past. Think gratitude, the water you have access to, the shelter you have, the food you get to eat, the job you get to work. And remember this, the more positive thoughts you have, the more control you have of your time and energy. So then take action towards achieving your biggest goals and dreams. Alright, that's it from me. If you like this video and you know someone will benefit from seeing this, do them a favor and like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Have an amazing day. Bye.